Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Kangaroo for the Atari 2600. In this platformer from Atari, you're a mama kangaroo trying to rescue her baby kangaroos from a bunch of monkeys. I already didn't like monkeys, and now that I know they're kangaroo kidnappers, I super don't like monkeys. To rescue your babby, you've got to make your way to the top of the playfield by hopping along platforms, jumping across log steps, and climbing ladders. There are 3 screens to clear per loop, and they each have different configurations. And you're going to learn to really hate the screens with log steps, because coming up short on a jump, even by a few pixels, will send you plummeting to your death. Judging the distances is super tricky, but at least death by precipitous fall makes sense. What doesn't make sense is death by apples. Apples are supposed to be good for you, but apparently they're fatal to kangaroos. Not only do apples tumble down from the top of the screen to kill you on contact whenever you pass underneath, but you've also got to dodge apple projectiles thrown by the monkeys climbing up and down the right-hand side of the playfield. Luckily, Mama Kangaroo has a mean right hook, and can punch any monkey that wanders onto a platform. And it's actually recommended that you get aggressive and chase them down, since they're more prone to throwing apples at you when you're running the other way. You can technically punch the apples too before they hit you, but I was never quick enough to manage that, especially since the monkeys can throw them low or high, and that's way too much variation for my apple-concussed brain to contend with. Not all fruits are as unfriendly as apples, though. The playfield is scattered with strawberries to collect for points, and ringing the bell replenishes collected strawberries with tomatoes, then tomatoes with cherries, then cherries with pineapples. Each worth a heftier bonus than the last. Even the tomatoes, which don't seem to fit in, but they are technically fruits too, and here we only discriminate against apples. Racking up extra points by replenishing fruit isn't always the best strategy if you're too slow to collect it though, because a bonus timer is always running lower the longer you take to rescue your babby kangaroo. And in my case, trying to backtrack for fruit bonuses usually got me killed by monkeys anyway. Graphically speaking, Kangaroo isn't the most beautiful game to grace the 2600, it's just that the monkeys seem to turn inexplicably into goldfish whenever they lunge forward, and something about Mama Kangaroo's expression looks perpetually judgmental. Granted, if she's judging me for how bad I am at this game, she's perfectly justified. The sound design is much more appealing here. Atari went the extra mile to put little jingles for the start of each loop, for climbing ladders, and for rescuing your babby kangaroo. The bouncing audio effect is also fittingly... bouncy. If only your punches didn't sound so much like gunshots. Cartoon kangaroos throwing hands has never felt so violent. I've already mentioned how awful I am at this game, but I feel like to some extent that's to be expected. Kangaroo is crazy hard. You can barely make it to the top of ladders without an apple falling on your noggin, there's almost no time to react to monkey throws, and making perfect jumps across logs is an exercise in frustration. My only goal in this game was to clear a single loop and collect a single pineapple, which is setting the bar laughably low, but as it turns out, that's the best I could do no matter how much I played anyway. To be fair, I generally played on the advanced difficulty, which starts you on the second loop with faster monkeys and more apples, but even still, my lack of skill here more than warrants Mama Kangaroo's derisive, squinty-eyed glare. My favorite part of Kangaroo was punching monkeys, because I don't like monkeys, but I do like punching stuff. And if I could change one thing here, I'd replace the fruit bonus tomatoes with like pears or melons or something. I know I said we only discriminate against apples here, but tomatoes only count as fruits on a technicality, and my apple-concussed brain isn't willing to process technicalities, especially when I'm busy punching monkeys. Overall, Kangaroo has been a pleasure in its novelty, but a pain in its difficulty. I don't see myself revisiting this game very often, but at least I saved one loop of babby kangaroos, and at least I've got one pineapple to show for it.